Hey guys, we're going to look inside the play here for Kenny Stabler. This is one that hurt staff to do, to miss the legend that was the Snake. But we're going to look at the different things that he did well, and man, there was a lot of them. This was from the 1966 LaTech game. They're led by Phil Robertson of Duck Dynasty fame, and him and Stabler. You want to talk about two completely contradictory lifestyles going against each other. But here comes Stabler to the line. You got the old dual back. It's almost like a broken T backfield, if you know that, because you got your tight end here, wide out here, you got a wide out down here. The big thing on these old films, you can't see a lot. We're just going to talk about the things he does well. So we're going to get a probably it's a go or maybe a skinny post pattern from the receiver down on the bottom of the screen that you can't see. And watch this throw Kenny makes. Really just unreal. This arm strength puts it right on the money, right in stride. You know, that's a young, that's a junior Kenny Stabler, leading probably what was the best Alabama team of all time in my mind. Great job right there. So moving on later in that year against Tennessee, which number one, I'm going to say, if I could have any request, it would be for us to go back to the crimson and orange jerseys during the game, because this is an awesome look. But Bama is down at this point 10-8. We just scored a touchdown and got a 2-point conversion to pull us back within two. So we've got to get down the field. Here's a good look at Stabler getting this little dump pass. Boom, turn around, get up the field. That sets us up inside for this. Now look, this is the game-winning field goal. Remember, it's 10-8 Tennessee. And I want you to watch Stabler get this bad snap and get it placed. Boom, loses it. It's a wet, rainy, mucky day. Stabler, though, finds a way to get it done. You know, that right there is the difference in that undefeated Tide and being the only undefeated uncrowned national champion in our history as having a loss to Tennessee. Snake gets it done. It's always the theme of his career is probably just him getting things done, doing what it takes. All right, so we move on to his senior year and one of the most famous games in Alabama history, the run in the mud, the 67 game against Auburn. Auburn's up 3-0 right now. They had first lead they had in the series in, I want to say, 4 years. I think it was 62 or 63 the last time they had even led. You know, it's at Legion Field. It's a miry mess in the middle. And Coach Bryant calls for an option play here. And really, I think it's in Stabler's mind. We're about the 40. This is our deepest penetration of the day here late in the late in the third quarter, I believe, is when this takes place. But Stabler is going to option out. And his idea is to get here to this grass. See, it's all mud. You'll never see this kind of playing conditions today. The drainage and all that's too good. But he thinks if he can get to this grass, he can do it. So here it goes. Great block by Dennis Homan here. Look at this. Boom. And Stabler gets right there when he hits that grass. Watch him pull away from these guys. Look at this guy. Got an angle on him. Nope. Stabler outruns him and beats Auburn 7-3. That's just all the things he did. He could throw it. He'd make the dirty plays. You know, the holder on the extra point. Holder on the field goal. You're the starting quarterback of Alabama, and the most important play he made that year was probably a hold on an extra point to have us beat Tennessee. So, you know, it's just all those things that Stabler was able to do. Now we're going to look at some of his games with the Raiders. All right, let's look right here. This is probably one of my favorite ones. This is the drive before the Immaculate Reception. Oakland had got the ball back late, was driving down, and there's about a minute and 50-something seconds to go, under 2 minutes to go. And they come to the line, ball on the Pittsburgh 30. And remember, this is the steel curtain defense. This isn't somebody you just run through. So everybody is assuming Stabler's going to make a pass here. Watch him get right out here. Makes that guy miss. And Stabler, he's gone. You don't see this in the NFL. You don't see quarterbacks making 30-yard runs to the end zone. But they didn't call him the Steak for nothing, man. He slithers in there. He got out, and he outran everybody and made it to the end zone. And if it's not for the immaculate reception, just a crazy bounce of the ball, that play right there would have cemented as one of the great plays in NFL history. That Stabler did that in Three Rivers Stadium on the road to take those Raider teams. And everybody forgets how good those Raider teams were, man. They were the AFC Championship every year. Here's the reverse angle. Look at this. He makes this guy miss. Stabler sees it. He's not putting it in the air. Takes off down the sideline. Look at him go. Watch him do this little cut right here at the end. Get inside that block. Dive for the end zone. Man, it's a great, great play. Just once again goes to show what all Stabler was able to do. All right, that was in 72. Here's 77. This is 5 years later against the Colts. This is the ghost to the post play, which is probably one of the most famous ones. You see 2:17 left in the game. The Raiders have the ball inside their own 35. They are inside their own 45. They've got to get down the field and get a field goal. It's kind of been a shootout in the second half. But in typical Stabler fashion, he's going to find a way to make the play. Dave Caspers is tight end, and you're going to see him. You know, in these old films, you can't really see what's happening. I can't break it down like I can in a lot of the newer stuff. But you're going to be able to see Casper's going to split that corner and safety in this cover 3 look. And Stabler's going to make a perfect throw over his head. And all Casper's got to do is run underneath it. Look at this. Pump fake. Goes up. Casper runs under it. And sets up the game-tying field goal. You're going to see the rear view angle here. Man, look how cool Stabler is. I mean, it's just like me and you sitting here talking about it. And he's in a playoff game. Pump fake. Getting pressure. Just as cool as a cucumber. Lays the ball out there. And puts it over Cat. Look, he throws it to where Casper has to run under it. Perfect spot for that ball. So you're talking, this is 11 years after that first play I showed you, the 66 game against LaTech, and he's still making those deep throws as good as anybody. And then one last one for the beating of the Dolphins. You know, you want to talk about great football games. This is one of the all-time great games. Those 70s Dolphins versus the 70s Raiders. And Stabler, knowing who he's got, he's going to look into the corner and find Fred Biletnikoff. Yeah, that Fred Biletnikoff. And makes the throw, and he puts it high where he knows Biletnikoff can go get it. And this says the Raiders to me as much as anything else. Boom. Look at that. I want you to see that again. Not only does Biletnikoff score the winning touchdown, spikes the ball. Here comes another Raider, gets it, and spikes it in your face again. Man, that's the 70s Raiders, if there is anything that was the 70s Raiders. Look at it again. He puts the ball up, gets it high where the DB can't run under and pick it off, where the DB has to get in a jump ball with Biletnikoff. Here you go. There's your second spike coming. But he puts it in a chance where his guy gets to go get it and fight for it, and that's all you can do. The NFL Hall of Fame does not have Kenny Stabler in it yet, and a lot of people cite he has more interceptions and all that. But if you see this and you look at today's game with everybody throwing bubble screens and slants and all this easy passes, Kenny Stabler was doing this, throwing the ball deep a lot. And I was reading one of his quotes. Stabler said one time that he goes going to throw 5. He threw 5 interceptions in the game, and he would have thrown 10 because the only way they could get in the game was to keep throwing. And that's the theme of Stabler's career. He wanted to win. He didn't care what his stats were. He didn't care how it looked. He didn't care if he's picking up the snap, botched snap on a field goal. He doesn't care if he's having to intentionally fumble on the holy roller. Whatever it is, Stabler wanted to win. And I know that for my generation, I was born in 87, and when you start looking at my generation, we grew up with many, many fall Saturdays listening to Stabler tell stories on the radio, and I've missed it since he left the radio broadcast, and I'm going to miss it even more now knowing there's no chance to hear those anymore. But Kenny Stabler, he wasn't just a legend for his hard partying ways. Stabler was also a legend for the way he was able to play the game.